Hey folks, this is Rhykker with a video on the upcoming Overwatch event, Retribution. We've had a few days of teasers and leaks leading up to Wednesday night's reveal. And incidentally, Wednesday night is when I'm recording this, but you will be seeing it Thursday afternoon. So in this video, we'll discuss all that we've learned about this event, as well as explore the build-up of leaks and teasers that led to the big reveal. But first, for those of you who just want to get to the point, the Overwatch Retribution PvE event will start April 10th. It is Blackwatch versus Talon. You take on the role of Blackwatch, Reaper, Moira, Genji, McCree. But there will also be an all-heroes mode just like last year's Uprising event, which is also returning this year. There's going to be a new Reaper skin, a new Moira skin, and a new map, Rialto. Alright, let's buckle up for this journey, and we're going to start from where we left off in our previous news wrap-up video, in which we covered the teasers thus far. Now at that point, the clues were telling us to expect a new event in addition to Uprising, something to do with Blackwatch. We speculated that we might see a team involving Reaper, Genji, McCree, and Moira, since those are all of our confirmed former Blackwatch members. Well, on Monday, we saw a new developer update video go up, featuring this time not just Jeff Kaplan, but Jeff Kaplan awkwardly sitting next to Tim Ford, a lead engineer on Overwatch. They explained last year's Uprising event and explained that it would be returning this year, but with new content as well. They promised that on Wednesday during the Overwatch League there would be a special video reveal, and Jeff ended by saying, quote, "Hope you're ready for the Retribution," which was hinting at the title of the event. So fans were stewing on that, speculating for a while, but it wasn't long before we got the Chinese leak. It turns out an unknown number of people were invited to Blizzard headquarters to preview the Retribution event. Now typically when people visit Blizzard headquarters and get to preview things, they're generally under pretty strict NDA, non-disclosure agreement. In other words, zip, can't talk about anything until a certain date, generally when the actual reveal happens. But it seems there was some oopsie here, maybe something was lost in translation because a Chinese game editor who visited Blizzard headquarters kinda spilled the beans. She posted some images on Twitter, which she later deleted, but thankfully, Redditor Bata12 managed to take some screenshots. In this first tweet here, we see an image of her with Jeff Kaplan. The text roughly translates to, "See who I got." Basically, see who I got to take a picture of. That effectively proves that yes, she was at Blizzard HQ. In a second tweet, you see an interaction. Someone is asking her, "Is it a new map?" And she replies, "Yes, I just tried it, it's really cool." Whoops. So now we know that there's a new map. Then in the third picture, she posts the new event logo, the Chinese one, and states that she really liked the new content and that she'll have more comments coming soon. And the logo at the top says Overwatch, and the bottom says something to the effect of Venice Action, but what this is almost certainly in reference to is the Venice incident from Overwatch lore. We don't know much about the Venice incident. All that we really know about it is from Moira's backstory. Basically, Moira was secretly a member of Overwatch, specifically of Blackwatch, Overwatch's covert ops unit. But it became public knowledge that she was a member of Blackwatch, quote, "during inquiries following the Venice incident." The bio goes on to say, quote, "Many high-ranking Overwatch officials disavowed all knowledge of her affiliation with them." So at this point, given we know that this event is called the Venice incident, will this event be the Blackwatch mission that basically blew Moira's cover? Now the leaks didn't end there. There was another leak, this time from an English speaker. Streamer Chinglish posted this image before taking it down, an image of himself with the Overwatch Retribution logo behind him, confirming that in English it will be called Retribution, and we also catch a glimpse of something that's looking a little familiar, a certain skyline. Now we spoke about a mural in our previous video, and more on that in a bit. Now streamer Chinglish later posted something that he didn't subsequently delete, and that was just the logo, not with himself in the picture, not with the city in the background, Overwatch Retribution. One interesting thing to note there is in the logo you can see a little, what appears to be a heart rate monitor type of thing. Oh, Rhykker, the tracing on the cardiopulmonary monitor is obviously called the rhythm strip, come on. Now back to that mural. It was last week that a mural was spotted in Australia, painted by the same team that painted the murals for last year's anniversary event. It depicted Genji and McCree in some kind of town that looked vaguely like Dorado, maybe? But from context here, it's seeming like this is in fact Venice, which kind of makes sense given that Dorado was actually modeled off an Italian town, not a Mexican town, so that's possibly why there were some resemblances in the aesthetic. Regardless, it turns out that the mural was subsequently updated. In the mural, Genji and McCree were originally depicted with their modern-day skins, but someone caught a work-in-progress update of Genji with his Blackwatch skin. This served to fill some plot holes and clear up any confusion that some people had about, well, how can this be 8 years ago? How could this be Blackwatch? They're in their modern skins. Was this an error, or was this just to bamboozle us? Then came the Atlas news post. Blizzard posted on the official website a news article that they said was actually posted 8 years ago that reads that in Oslo, Norway, global peacekeeping organization Overwatch today announced it will be conducting a full review of security procedures following a recent attack on their facilities in Oslo, Norway. At a televised news conference, Commander Jack Morrison stated that a complete investigation of the incident is ongoing, and that at this point it is too early to identify the parties responsible. Morrison issued a stern warning to the perpetrators. Overwatch will not rest until the ones behind this attack are brought to justice. Morrison confirmed that Overwatch has identified a number of suspects behind the strike, but declined to provide further details. So from this, we're starting to gain a bit more context. Okay, Retribution. This is a retaliatory attack from Overwatch. Whatever enemy of Overwatch attacked their facility in Norway, so now it's time for revenge, for retribution. So Overwatch sends in Blackwatch. All speculation, of course. But then came the comic. And for the first time, there was no animated version of the comic. So the comic starts off, and the person speaking is Gerard Lacroix, Widowmaker's husband, the one she assassinated. He's talking about one of Overwatch's enemies that is not bound by the same rules that Overwatch is. So at this point we're guessing Talon, since they operate basically as a terrorist organization. And that's later confirmed in the comic. Reaper expresses admiration for Gerard, and apparently Gerard saved Reaper's life once. So there's definitely a strong connection there. It might be a one-way connection, but still. Then we learn about a high-ranking Talon member named Antonio, who was allegedly behind the Oslo attack on Overwatch. Antonio has a compound in Venice, Italy. No surprise, Antonio is an Italian name after all. Hey, Tony! And then we sort of see a file photo of Antonio that almost looks more like concept art for an Overwatch hero, so possibly a teaser that Antonio may be the Talon tank that Talon desperately needs at this point. Clearly that wouldn't be his main skin, but maybe it's a different kind of skin, one of his special skins. Leisure Suit Tony. But we then see a woman sneaking around, and it's not Widowmaker because she has a prosthetic arm and Widowmaker does not. Now it sounds like Gerard wants to do things on the up and up. Talon fights dirty, but Gerard wants a clean fight. And this seems to run contrary to Reaper and McCree's philosophy. So while Gerard is in the hospital here following this bombing by Talon, we do know that he survives. From his backstory, which comes from Widowmaker's backstory, we do know that Gerard Lacroix survived many assassination attempts from Talon before they finally kidnapped his wife, brainwashed her, and she assassinated him. But we do know that at least a dozen people died in the explosion, and Reaper wants revenge. Or retribution, you know. Now, Soldier 76, Jack Morrison, he seems to maintain Gerard's philosophy. He wants to take down Talon by the book, but Reaper believes that playing by the book is just gonna allow Talon to keep getting away, that they need to fight dirty if they're gonna beat Talon. So Jack basically says, look, do whatever you want to do, just don't tell me about it, don't let me know about it. I cannot officially sanction this, but... So Reaper gets his posse together, Moira, Genji, and McCree. And at this point, it's pretty clear that this will be your team of heroes for the coming PvE event. And it's pretty clear that Moira's gonna get that awesome Blackwatch skin. If you look at last year's comic, all the skins shown in that comic were delivered in-game. Now, one thing I want to point out about the last panel of this comic is, if you look at the shadows on Reaper's face, it's reminiscent of his mask. Squint a little, and it looks almost exactly like his mask when it's a little blurry as an image. This comic is just chock full of beautiful imagery and symbolism, like the panels of Jack and Reaper on the Overwatch and Blackwatch logos, or the use of the beep sounds bleeding from the countdown to the heart monitor. Blizzard really stepped things up a notch for this one. This comic, though, does leave us with some questions. We know that Reaper eventually joins Talon. Why? He seems to adore Gerard. Why would he join the organization that killed him? Why would he work with Widowmaker, who assassinated him? Is Reaper still secretly working for Overwatch and trying to take down Talon from the inside? Or maybe once Reaper learns Talon's true motivations, that's what gets him to join? Since they seem to share the same philosophy of the ends justify the means. Another interesting thing to note is that Reaper has this I don't play by the rules attitude, and Soldier 76, after the incident, after Overwatch, now in present day, in-game voice line, he has some line to the effect of, I don't play by the rules anymore. So it seems that Jack is sort of going over to Reaper's side. And maybe that's why there's some tacit endorsement, some secret collusion between the two? I don't know, that just sounds insane. But next came the tweet. Accessing archived file 0274, codename Retribution. Decryption status in progress, estimated completion date April 4th. Reference match 2. File data to be exported to twitch.tv/Overwatch League. So this was just further clarification of the official message put out on Monday that there would be a big reveal during the Overwatch League on Wednesday. They narrowed down the time frame and asked us basically to tune in. And so we did. At about halftime during the Overwatch League match, at some point, Blackwatch appears on their screens at the venue, and Jeff Kaplan comes out wearing a Blackwatch t-shirt. He confirms that the Overwatch Archives event will let us play through defining moments in Overwatch history, such as the Uprising event and this new Venice incident, which he refers to as, quote, the event that changed Overwatch history forever. They then play the video, which then went up on YouTube. I'll link that in the description below for you to check it out yourself if you haven't. But as we're getting this overview of the event, Jack is asking Reaper, what happened? Reaper asks if Jack really wants to know, since the plan in the comic was for Jack not to know, so that he wouldn't then have to lie about not knowing any details or sanctioning it. But Jack says Reaper hasn't left him with much choice. In other words, things have gone public, shit has hit the fan, Jack needs to do damage control, and so he needs to know the full story. You can see that in the event we'll be fighting a variety of Talon troops, including special units like assassins, snipers, and heavy assaults. And Jeff further clarifies that this was the first mission where the public found out about Blackwatch. The map that we'll be playing on is called Rialto, which is a district in Venice, Italy. The event will be highly replayable, more so than Uprising. Like Uprising, it will have a story mode and an all-heroes mode, and apparently there's going to be more variants in the all-heroes mode than we saw in Uprising. Jeff didn't really give us more details there. He basically just said that we'd see it change a whole bunch. He also said that the flow of the Retribution event will be better than the Uprising event. And another bonus, the Rialto map will be coming to PvP in the form of Rialto Day, whereas Rialto Night is the Retribution map. But that's going to be in the future, it'll have to hit PTR first. Oh, and it's a payload map. Jeff confirmed that Retribution will go live on April 10th, and hinted that we're getting a new skin for Reaper called Soldier 24. This will be when Reaper was in the Super Soldier program that Jack Morrison, Soldier 76, was in. Shortly thereafter, visiting the Overwatch YouTube page greeted you with this, the Blackwatch logo and a Blackwatch banner rather than Overwatch. So it seems they're doing this whole branding marketing thing, and the official video that they played during the Twitch stream also went up on the YouTube channel. So overall, this has been a very exciting lead up to what seems to be a really fun event with some cool skins, cool rewards, and I can't wait to play. But what do you folks think about all this? Are you excited for Overwatch Retribution? Sound off in the comments. And that's gonna wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch and Patreon supporters for making these videos possible. If you like what you see on this channel and want to support the creation of more content, feel free to pledge on Patreon, where your support is immensely appreciated. We've got a variety of backer rewards, including behind the scenes stuff, monthly virtual hangouts, and more. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, check out these other videos, and subscribe to join Rhykker's Raiders for more gaming content.